Yeah, so I thought you would have the Cowboys first, but we both had the Eagles first, and we'll go ahead and start talking about them first.
Uh,
There's one concern I have with this team, and I mean, it might be the same concern you have if you have a concern with them.
uh,
Is I'm
yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
not a Jalen Hurts guy. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I really don't. Um, but this is a make year for him. The Eagles have loaded up on draft picks, so they are ready to get that QB if Jalen Hurts doesn't perform. Um, but he doesn't have any excuse not to perform. He's a great runner. He's a good leader. I just don't trust his arm. I don't think he'd throw over the middle of the field very well. Don't think he's very good at reading coverages. Um, but you do have AJ Brown, who's a borderline top 10 receiver in this league.
No, he's not.
You have Devontae Smith. AJ Brown's definitely borderline top 10.
No, he's not.
Smoking crack if you don't think he's borderline top 10.
I don't think he is. I don't hate AJ Brown. He's great. He's amazing. I know.
He is great.
Not borderline top 10. I fucking hate that. He's gonna suck on the Eagles. He's going.
The only reason he would be bad
It's because of Jalen Hurts.
Is either Hurts or he has dealt with some injury concerns and some injuries in his career.
Let me take that back. I don't want to say suck. He's not going to suck. AJ Brown is a top 15 receiver, no doubt. But I like I said.
So you're saying he's top 15, no doubt, but you're really going
because I have him. I ranked my receivers, and we'll do that in another video. You'll see that. But I never was crazy on AJ Brown. He's a very good player. I'm not cheating on him.
But you're mad saying someone's borderline top 10.
I just don't think he's going to be. But 15, 14, 13 is not borderline top 10.
It can be, though. Like, I consider...
You ever played Weddle?
Weddle?
Within two, buddy.
There's a lot of very talented receivers that people can have very different lists
For sure.
at the top 15. So that's why I consider that. But anyways, Devontae Smith was great in his rookie year. I expect him to be pretty good this year also. And then they added Zach Pascal. They got Quez Watkins in the slot. They got a pretty good 1 through 4 at wide receiver. Maybe Chandler Rager does something, but I'm not going to believe that until I see it. That's something I'll say a lot. Dallas Goedert really proved himself last year. He proved himself as one of the top tight ends in the league. Not saying he's top 5, but he's like 6, 7, 8 in the league. And I expect him to still be good this year. I mean, he had a bit of a drop issue, but I'm not too concerned about that. They drafted Grant Calcaterra, who I thought fell a little bit in the draft. I thought he was solid. 6th round, pretty good value for him. And then
where did he get out of? What college?
I'm pretty sure he was out of Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they have Miles Sanders, who I actually think is going to have a pretty good year this year. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling that he's going to have a good year this year.
You know why he might have a good year? Is because every fucking Eagles fan has been yelling at him, saying run the ball. And when he does run the ball, Miles Sanders looks decent. He's going to be running the ball more this year.
Yep, hopefully so. I mean, they were the number 1 team running the ball last year. And obviously that's a mix of their running backs with Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, who had a pretty decent rookie year for his role. They have Boston Scott. And obviously Jalen Hurts is pretty big in that run game. So I do expect that run game to still be top 5, probably top 3 in the league this year. Because one thing the Eagles did last year to help Jalen Hurts is they made themselves very run-heavy in the second half of the year. That's when they started winning a lot of games. I know a lot of people kind of like to crack on Nick Sirianni for his press conference, the first press conference he had in Philly, but I thought he did a really good coaching job last year. He's a very good offensive mind, and I do think that he gave the the play calling to the OC last year, and that's when they started getting on the run. I do think Sirianni is a great mind coming up with play designs.
He's a player's coach. One thing that stuck out to me last year about him was Brandon Graham went down early, maybe preseason. It was really early. Man wore 55 on his hat every game. Like, that man is a player's coach. He's a friend of the players. I love those types of coach. They don't always end up very well. Dan Campbell. But
that's what I see. He's so very early.
Very early, but I've also watched him coach for a year for the Dolphins, but it's a different scenario. But those coaches don't usually end up very well, but I think, like, I love seeing that. And the reason why I had the Eagles first, I can talk now, or are you done?
You can go ahead. I was going to talk defense next, but go ahead and say your piece.
All right. So the reason why I had them going number 1, Cowboys got a lot worse, I think. And the Eagles addressed all 3 of their big needs that they needed this offseason. They needed another receiver to go next to Devontae Smith. They went and got A.J. Brown. They needed to get younger guys in that front 7 to replace to replace Graham when he retires, to replace Cox when he retires. They got themselves Jordan Davis, who was the perfect replacement for Fletcher Cox, and they got themselves Hassan Reddick to replace Brandon Graham. Like, it's a perfect. They needed that, and they needed a corner on the opposite side of Darius Slay. Good thing one of their division rivals just cut one, went right over to them, James Bradbury, and then linebackers. Already mentioned Hassan Reddick. They were terrible with linebackers last year. Alex Singleton was their best linebacker, and he left. They went and got one of my favorite picks in the draft because of the value, the Kobe Dean. I'm not sure. He has some injury problems, I'm pretty sure, but I haven't seen him on the PUP list, so it kind of just looks like he's just going to be playing. But I think this offseason, just the only thing they're iffy on is safeties, and I think they have no reason not to be number one.
Yeah, and I mean, the defense does look pretty stacked, right? I mean, talk about it. They have Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett and Hassan Reddick rushing the passer. That's pretty good edge rushing trio.
Yep.
And then in the inside, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave. Hargrave's always been pretty underrated
Hargrave's
in his entire career. And then they drafted Jordan Davis, who, I mean, just athletically looks like he's going to be a stud, right? So
they got to be running 3-4, right? They got to be.
I'm not sure what they're running.
Because Jordan Davis can play DN. You can't prove me otherwise. It's Christian Wilkins 2.0.
Yeah, he probably could. And then, I mean, one thing that they struggled with last year is they couldn't turn the ball over a lot. I mean, they obviously got Darius Slay, who is one of the top corners in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And then they added James Bradbury, who did have a down year last year with the Giants, but we know what he is. He's a top 20 corner in the NFL, possibly top 15 maybe, but top 20 guy, no doubt, in the NFL. Great cornerback to have next to Slay. And then Devontae Maddox is one of the best slot corners in the NFL, in my opinion. I think he is an absolute stud in the slot. So that three right there could probably go up against any other team's top three corners in the NFL. And then, I mean, the safeties, I mean, it's not the best. I mean, Anthony Harris, he's had better years before back with, like, the Vikings. They got Jaquasi Tart, who hopefully can recover from his play with the Niners in the playoffs.
It wasn't that bad. It was one drop. Leave the man alone.
Yeah, but it was a pretty big drop.
He was in on plays.
He's a good safety, but I mean, it was a pretty big.
And everybody was like, "Dude, don't even fucking touch him."
Yeah, but I mean, overall, the defense is very stacked. I do like the Kobe Dean. He was a pretty big part for the Georgia defense last year that won it all. And I mean, we'll see how soon he gets on the field and how productive he is when he gets on the field. Someone I liked, who I liked come out of the draft. I really don't know how good he was last year, but I really like Jacoby Stevens from the year before. And I don't know if he's going to make the team. I really haven't paid too much attention to him, but I do see he is on a depth chart. And a year ago, I thought that he could be a steal in the draft. Maybe he's something this year. I haven't really seen too much of him, but I do see that he is on their depth chart. But overall, I mean, every year the NFC East has a new division winner, right? I mean, how many years in a row has it been? Like 15 years, something like that. They've had a new division winner. I expect the same thing.
It's just always that division is the definition of mediocre.
Yeah,
the winner's always got 9 wins, unless it's the Cowboys having their year, which they do have sometimes, but it just doesn't go far in the playoffs.
Yeah, and speaking of the Cowboys, unless you have anything else to say about the Eagles,
I do have one more thing to say about the Eagles, and this is just the thing I'm gonna put out there. JJ Arcega-Whiteside will not make the fucking team.
You don't think he could?
No.
He's going to transition well.
Dude, he is so bad.
Is he still on the team?
He is on the team still, but he won't be before the season starts. I knew the second that man showed up to the Panini signing with an umbrella, his mom was holding an umbrella for the sun. He ain't going to be shit. He's going to get cut. And watch, now that I'm saying this, the Dolphins are going to sign him.
Hey, I mean, he'd be a pretty good guy for the Dolphins, right?
You're funny, dude. Zach, where did you get so funny? Let's